Hey guys, it's Creed with Homebuyer University. Uh, I'm pretty excited today to introduce you to some of our technology, and we're just going to get rolling with this thing. This is essentially a data science platform, and I have spent years, and I mean years, and I mean thousands of hours, experimenting and doing some very cool stuff within the real estate industry. There's a few patents I hold from a few years back, and this is much cooler. And I'm just going to introduce you to one of the tools available to you. And right now, this looks like a big blur to you. But if you think something like a circuit board, a CPU on your computer, it's kind of that same concept. Each of these little tiny nodes, and we're just going to zoom in on this little bit of a section here. This whole section here is another 5 different functions, and we'll cover those in subsequent videos. And then the AI that I created that will actually value things like remodeled kitchens or an additional bathroom or new windows, you name it, it can do anything. It's almost literally like 1,000 times bigger and more complex than this whole thing. So that's way into the future for you to see that stuff. But we're going to zoom in a little bit right now. So hang in there with me just for a few minutes. I know. I always say this is going to be short. And then 45 minutes later, I'm apologizing because it was so long. This one's going to be under 10 minutes. I promise you that. If it goes over, I'll edit something out. Okay, promise, deal. So we're going to zoom in, and again, this is like almost like a CPU, a computer chip in your computer, and it does millions of calculations, comparisons, and analyses for me. It takes a while to figure out how to do this, and it's a pretty difficult process. But in the end, you get some really outstanding information based on facts. You get some honest answers based on proven facts, which is kind of what we're all about. And I know, see, now you can't tell what's going on. Everything feels a little bit out of your range of perception. But I'm just going to give you a brief overview. You are not going to have to watch this thing do any calculations. I've already done them. But what I've done right here, this little tiny itty bitty node, we're going to open it up just for fun, is telling us. It's what I've done is I've pulled in 13 months of sold properties for all of Highlands Ranch. And that's going to be our sample for today is Highlands Ranch. This can be done for any city and every location in Metro Denver. So I've pulled in complete, absolute, all the data you could ever find in the multiple listing service. And I'm going to run this through a few stats. Don't worry about any of this stuff. Over here, previously, I've done a big series of analyses to create some shape files, some, if you will, neighborhood boundaries. And if you know anything about Highlands Ranch, you know what a disaster the naming of those neighborhoods are. If you look, you don't see this in the MLS, but it's about 90% incorrect. It's terrible. And I spent a few months fixing all that, and now I've automated that. So what it does is it assigns every property I pull in to a polygon, which is a shapefile, which is just a boundary of a neighborhood, an actually defined neighborhood. This is really very cool. I don't even know how to describe this to you, except it grabs the latitude and longitude point of each property, lat long point, and it assigns it, pulls it from here, brings it over to here, and assigns it to one of these polygons. And there's 75 to 90 of these. I don't remember. And so that's so cool. You don't even understand how cool that is unless you've spent a lot of time trying to find a home in Highlands Ranch. And I'm going to run through a whole bunch of calculations. This back here, just assigning this, might be 1 to 3 million calculations, comparisons, and analyses. So each one of these little things is a little AI algorithm. And by little, it's doing tens of thousands to millions of calculations on our behalf, on your behalf. We're going to open this up, and it takes just a second, go full screen for you. This data science platform was created in another part of the world. The U.S. doesn't own all the technology that we think we do. And so that's why it's not centered on the U.S., but we're going to center this right now. This is Highlands Ranch, so this is 470. This is every property that has sold in the last 13 months, and it's on this map. We'll zoom in a little bit. It's on this map based on its latitude and longitude point. We've done all this in the system. We're going to do a lot of analyses, and you don't even need to worry about this yet, okay? I just want to let you know that this system is working so hard for you. These green algorithms, this is me fixing bad data out of the MLS. If you think the data in the MLS is correct and accurate, this is stuff I have to fix because it's either completely wrong or it's completely missing, and I need to adjust for that. This is the part that's going to be exciting now. You won't care about some of this stuff, and I use different clustering algorithms. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know. And I test and compare various clustering algorithms to see which is best. Between you and me, don't tell the other folks, the k-means algorithm is doing just fine for this particular task, but I still experiment a lot. And I go through an optimization series of tests. So what does a clustering algorithm do? What it does is it takes any criteria I tell it. And in your case, I'm either telling it the sold price or the sold price, lot size, year of construction, and size of the home in square feet. This can be completely customized for you. So the k-means algorithm, what it does, the clustering, is it tries to take all the criteria I give it and compare that to the location of various neighborhoods. And in the end, it says, okay, based on the price and the lot size and the size of the home and the year it was built, this neighborhood and this neighborhood and this neighborhood are very similar. And this neighborhood and this neighborhood are substantially different. So what that does is it creates for you options. So if you like a neighborhood and you like how the homes are in the neighborhood and the year the homes were built and the size of the homes and the size of the lots, or any criteria you can think of, through this system, we get to tell you, okay, if you like this neighborhood because of that, by the way, here's a couple more neighborhoods you should at least take a look at, because the buyers, all the buyers, the entire group of buyers from Highlands Ranch, based on how they spent their money to get what they most wanted, have found other areas very similar to the one you most like. Why don't you go and check these out? Why does that get important? One, inventory is not that great. There's still not that many options. So you get to experiment with different homes in different neighborhoods, very similar to the one you most like. Does that make sense? Cool. And here's what we're going to end up with. All right, remember this thing already? All right, we didn't create this in the U.S., but it's an amazing data science program. Oh, I'll tell you that right now. We're going to zoom in. Boom. Here's Highlands Ranch once again. Every property that's sold in the last 13 months, plugged in. And here's how this works. If you had found a home in this area, right here, these little blue squares, and you liked it a lot, okay, but you couldn't quite find the home you wanted, this map is now telling you, by the way, over in here, this light blue stuff here, and a few over in here, light blue over here, light blue over in these areas, and a few more, a streak over up in here. Very similar homes, similar homes, similar lot, similar home size, similar year of construction, and similar price for the homes as the area that you most liked. And that works over and over. And you would know, and we would be able to pull up the data. In fact, it's flashing a little bit of information there for you. The average price there for this neighborhood was $817, give or take. And you would know that this area, where the typical price is $1.65 million, you know that's not going to work for you if this is your price point. Does that make sense? And I know this will be less expensive up here. So it's the average is $580. So it doesn't really match the quality of the homes you were looking at over here at $817. Does that make sense? Do you see how you could really use this to at least open up new possibilities and options for you? It's still a tough market for buyers. Not as insane as it was 9 months ago, no. But there's still not that much inventory. And a cool tool like this is it's going to help you open up those options, not based on like one person's opinion, not based on your realtor's opinion. Oh, I think this area is nice, or oh, have you thought about this area? This is based on some artificial intelligence saying the buyers that bought all these homes, I believe there's like 1,600 homes in here. I don't remember off the top of my head. But these homes that these buyers have all purchased, based on those buyers' actions, what they spent to get the qualities of those homes they wanted, they're the ones that told you these neighborhoods are very similar. Does that make sense? Has nothing to do with my opinion. Using a bunch of math and a bunch of artificial intelligence and statistics and GIS programming and stuff, you've got some options all of a sudden that you didn't even know you had. And so it's very cool. And we can customize this for you based on anything that's important to you. And I hope I'm in my 10 minutes now, and I'm going to shut up. Thanks for watching.